Hi there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to finally be installing this small block Chevy 350 into my 1990 Camaro. Let's get started. Hi there everybody, welcome back to another episode here. We are still working on the Camaro. Last time I left off we were rebuilding the engine and that is all complete now. A bunch of little stuff went wrong and it took forever and I took my time. I'm trying to get it right this time around. But I am just about ready to go. I have everything bolted down, everything adjusted. The last thing I need to do is put in the distributor. I have to pour oil into it. So just the little stuff, but just the important stuff you really have to check. So I'm going to get started on that stuff and we'll get this thing started here soon and we'll break in that new comp cam. Alright, so like I said guys, everything is bolted down, ready to go. Radiator's in, full of water. Holley Sniper EFI is bolted down. Everything's plugged in as far as I'm aware. Everything's adjusted more or less. I fixed the alternator bracket. Summit Racing makes a new one that goes on the passenger side header over here. You can see it mounts right up there just on the header. Not really the way that I like. I wish I had a different option here, but with a short water pump, that's about the best you can get with that alternator. Another thing with this alternator here, it was giving me issues of getting super hot last time. I think the voltage regulator on the inside might be bad, but I did run an extra ground here off the case onto the chassis right here to see if maybe that clears up the issues. But we're going to find out here shortly if it's charging or overheating or anything like that. But yeah, like I said guys, I just need to put in the distributor back there, get that all wired up, get some oil in this thing, and we are good to go. So let's get that moving. Okay, oil's in. And that was it's just some Summit Racing 10W30 break-in. It's like ZDDP break-in oil. And that's just what I want to use for this comp cam. It just gives it the best chance of surviving. For flat tappet cams like this, you always want to run some ZDDP, either additive or the straight oil if you can get it. Now I need to get my handy-dandy oil priming tool right here that I made just a little bit ago. It's just an old oil drive shaft and I welded it to a old broken screwdriver that will go into the bit there, and all you have to do is put that down there in the distributor hole and crank it around for a bit. And I have a oil gauge, and on the inside we'll watch and make sure we have good oil pressure. So let's get that started. Alright, as you guys saw there, the oil pressure was pretty much right on, around 40-50 pounds, and that's just with the, the little rig I had there. So it might be a little bit better while it's running. We'll find out and see. It's just a standard oil pump, nothing special. But I am just about ready to put in this distributor, and gosh, we're getting pretty close to starting this thing. I'm getting a little nervous, so let's slap this thing in here and get moving. So if you guys are new here, you might not know, but we are running the Holley Sniper EFI, the Hyperspark, with the ignition box back there on the wall. That works perfectly with this Holley Sniper EFI, making the ignition just super easy to tune. I just set it right there on the keypad. And if you guys want to check any of that stuff out, I have a couple videos of it. I'll throw a link up above if you guys want to see it. So let's get this thing in here. just wanted to give a quick tip for anybody who's installing a distributor who maybe hasn't done it before, hasn't done it in a while. I almost just made the mistake of, let's see here. Let's see. As you can see, I have it on top dead center there. However, I don't know if it's on compression or not. So for anyone who doesn't know, you can set in that distributor wrong so that it's out of the compression cycle, and that's what guys call 180 out, and your engine will not run right if you do that. So I'm going to pop that spark plug out and feel for compression and make sure that we are actually on that stroke. Alright, so all you have to do now, guys, is put your finger over the hole down there, get a wrench on the crank pulley bolt, and spin that thing around and wait for air to push out of the hole, and then you know you're on compression. So we have a good idea where our compression should be just from our timing mark down there. So I'm going to spin this over. There you go. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Okay, back on top dead center there. It's a good thing I checked because we were 180 degrees out, so now we can get this correct. So another interesting little tip for these Holley Sniper Hypersparks here. I think it's probably MSD's as well. I mean, MSD owns this. But anyways, you get this clear cap right here, and all you do is install the distributor like regularly. Make sure this rotor is kind of pointed at number 1 cylinder, but it really doesn't matter where you put it as long as you have your number 1 spark plug aligned with this. Make sure you put a mark on your distributor so you know where it's at. But with this clear one here, you can put it on here, and then you can rotate the shaft and it'll actually move into place so you know exactly where you're at, you know you're good to go. Let's get this thing in here. Nice and lined up. Alright, the time has come. I have all the spark plug wire, spark plugs in, verified, top dead center. Everything should be good to go. I did a fresh tune on the Holley Sniper EFI there, and by tune I mean I just restarted the wizard. If you guys need help on doing any of that stuff, I'll throw another link up for my other videos on how to do that, but I won't go too far into it today with that. Other than that, I'm pretty nervous to start this thing up, honestly. I don't want to ruin this camshaft. I'm going to do my best to run it for about 10-15 minutes, more if I can. Just watching everything, make sure nothing's wrong. But I'm going to set up the cameras here and we'll start it up and see how this thing runs. I think it's smoking a lot. It's probably just all the oil. Okay, there was attempt number 1. It started up and ran pretty good, but it started smoking a lot, and I didn't want to burn this thing down in the garage. So I'm gonna let this garage clear out here real quick of the smoke, and we'll try it again. It's probably just burning all the oil and stuff off the headers here that I've got on there from touching and doing all that stuff on it. Other than that, seems good. Okay, tip number 2 here. Tip number 2. This cap fell off, and I thought the engine exploded. Looks pretty good. We're gonna try it again. A little smoky in some spots, but I think we're good, guys. Oil pressure stayed good. Alright, guys. Well, I ran it there for about 10 minutes or so, I'd say. I'm sure I'm going to try to break it in a little bit more later on, but it's smoking pretty bad. There's some stuff I need to adjust. It's running pretty hot. But overall, it's looking pretty good. Sounds pretty decent as well. There is a transmission fluid leak down there that wasn't there before. I have to figure out what's going on there. Everything else looks good though. Awesome. Alright guys, well, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and maybe we'll get this guy on the road. See you later.